Okay, these are what we're going to call parent graphs, in that we have a parent, which is kind of the over-encompassing look of this this image that's created by the equation, and then we're going to look at making adjustments to that graph, and so we'll look at the basics, and hopefully it'll make a little bit of sense. You plug in a -1 into x, and nothing happens. You can't take the square root of a negative. We're not going to say let's find out what it is in imaginary sense, because we're going to plot the points here, and this is not the imaginary axes. So we won't include -1 as an imaginary solution. You plug in a 0, we're going to get a 0. Square root of 0 is 0. You plug in a 1, the square root of 1 is 1, conveniently enough. And again, conveniently enough, we're just using perfect squares. So plug in a 4, you get a 2. You plug in a 9, you get a 3. And if we plotted these points, we'd have a dot there at 0, 0, another dot at 1, 1. Thanks, sir. We have a dot at 4, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and up 2. And then finally we have a dot at 9, 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3. Bada bing, bada boom. We kind of know what this image looks like in theory, and it's going to go on forever, but it has a definite starting point. It starts at this location, and it just kind of goes up and over off. It's kind of a sideways parabola. In fact, if you flip it sideways, it is. You see it's half of the left side of a parabola. So with that in mind, what would happen if we shifted this thing 2 units to the right? Well, every point then would be over 2 units. And if we go up and over, and we go up, you can do the stair-step approach, up 1 over 1, up 1 over 3, up 1 over 5, similar to the up 1 over 1, up 3, and up 5 with the parabola. But up 1 over 1, 2, 3, the 5 is going to be off the grid, but we kind of see what it looks like. Now the new equation that we have discovered, or will discover, is the square root of x minus 2. Shifting something 2 units to the right, remember on the inside of the parentheses is the opposite of what you would think. So to the right is a minus 2. Okay, if we're going to shift 1 unit down, then the original, and that means from the vertex we're going to cruise down here and put a dot there, and then everything else, the up 1 over 1, the up 1 over 1, 2, 3, and the up 1 over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 does that little thing. So it's the same exact graph of the original, it just shifted down. And if you remember, shifting down, y is equal to the square root of, well, x, big X, minus 1. The minus 1, notice, is outside the parentheses. So we have inside the parentheses, shifts it left and right. Minus shifts it to the right. A minus here shifts it down. Okay. Now we're going to take the original graph and go 3 units left. Okay. 1, 2, 3 is the original. It was at 0, 0. I just moved it to the left. We've got an up 1 over 1. We've got an up 1 over 1, 2, 3. And we got an up 1 over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is just slightly off the grid, so why not? In the equation then 3 units to the left, that's again going to be inside the parentheses. It's going to be x plus 3. No up and down shift, so there's nothing outside the parentheses. Now we start getting exciting here. Shift the original graph 1 unit to the right and 2 units up. 1 to the right and 2 units up. So essentially it's saying plot a starting point at 1, 2. Okay, and we'll get back to that in just a second. But everything else stands the same. Up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, 2, 3, and up 1 and over 5 off the grid. Right about there. And so the graph, again, it's the same shape every single time. But we want to see what's starting to happen to the equation. Okay, the square root of, so we have something going on inside and outside now. Okay, it's to the right, so that's an x minus 1. Okay, the opposite of what we would think inside, but exactly what we think outside. The up 2 means it's going to be a plus 2. And again, the original graph is 3 units down and 4 units to the left. Well, left is 4, and now keep in mind that left is your x value and down is your y value. So the 4 units to the left, there's your -4, and your 3 units down is your y value. Let's do the equation now, just for kicks. We've got the square root of x plus 4, and then we have the minus 3 out here. The graph is going to be back 1, 2, 3, 4, and down 1, 2, 3. Up 1 over 1, up 1 over 3, and up 1 over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bada bing.